ability to kite, then I mean, he needs that flash to be able to get in, or a ghost at the very least. I mean, Connor's sitting with flash and his ult and his W to get away from things. I think Meph has to create those openings. You're gonna have a very hard time getting in.
They're already talking. So Meph's played Nudu and Riven. He's favoring the very melee champions. It's very unpredictable, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that Meph is also very unpredictable for this group because he's a support main. So I don't think that any of them will actually see him play anybody outside of support besides Riven, who he's a huge fan of. So I think that when I talked to him at this tournament, he decided he was going to practice a few champions this morning and the day before, just so he can get a bigger roster up, and it seems to be working well for him. I guarantee it.
Okay, so here we go. He's kind of biding his time, but I think that's just because none of the minions are low enough to last hit.
There's the first Q.
That's not going to be an indicator of a huge amount. There's the Doran's ring, as we probably could expect from Connor. I think because Garen can't put a lot of range pressure on him, he's allowed to be a bit more free in his farming, and he can afford to spam the Qs.
I think that's the same build he used on Morgana as well. Oh wow, that was
a huge amount of damage.
It was like 150.
And Connor's still that's a dangerous game you're playing, Connor. He stayed very close to Meph. I think he had the minion advantage, which I would guess Meph had been paying attention to. But let's see.
The emote spam. It's gonna do wonders.
There's no
sorry, go on.
There's no brushes in mid lane. That's a disadvantage, I suppose.
For Garen, yes.
What were you saying?
I was going to say that Connor's hitting a lot of those Qs, but and now Meph is out of health pots, only at level 2. He's going to have a very, very hard time, I think. I mean, Connor's still got both his pots. They seem to have no mana issues.
That's not the passive running. Oh, no.
Yeah, but like I said, that tick is... Let's see how long it actually is. It's 3 seconds, so he has to wait pretty much 10 seconds to get his passive up, not getting hit by anything. I mean, the cooldown on Connor's Q is like 3 seconds as well, and he's landing quite a lot of those. So Mep's gonna have to disengage pretty massively if he wants to actually get his passive off, or deny himself farm, which is what he's having to do now.
I think farm is one of the. Oh, he's going for it.
He's just going.
And Connor is just kiting heavily. That was a huge amount of damage. He just kept laying over the E's, and that's what you're supposed to do as cast. Connor's actually opted to max the Q as no surprises there. Some people like to max E, and I could see it happening because E is good if you can keep your distance from somebody, but the Q is also good because the Q lets you keep your distance. So.
Yeah, I think the Connor yet again is just going for that poke game. He doesn't want to commit. I completely understand that against the Garen. He doesn't think he has the burst to take down the Garen, so he is just going for that Q, and he will just... Oh,
Garen coming in, and he's going to silence and spin, and it's not faster than... I believe... What?
There's just something hilarious for watching Garen run at somebody and just spin in a circle away from them.
I think the problem with that approach is Garen's E slows him if he's passing through minions. 20% slower when traveling directly through units down at the bottom of that blue thing. So I think that allowed Connor to get away pretty nicely, as well as the move speed buff from hitting the Q. Because with a direct approach like Garen's, it's very easy to land the move speed buff and just hightail it out of there.
I actually don't understand why that has that. The E has that restriction on it.
Which what restriction?
The slow. Why does it slow Garen? I don't understand why they would put that there.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were referring to Cass's E. I was like, that does not.
Oh no.
Yeah. I could not tell you.
It doesn't seem to, obviously it doesn't strengthen the champion in any way, so they must have thought that it would be too strong otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe it thematically made sense. I mean, numbers can be changed.
There's quite a few things which they only did because it makes sense thematically, I think. So It wouldn't surprise me if the E was just because it makes sense for you to be traveling slower when you go through people.
Like you could, like the case of Caitlyn's ace in the hole, where you could just make it so the bullet can't be blocked and reduce the damage. But I think with the Garen E slowing them, it kind of creates a system of counterplay, which I think Riot has been all about. If you can lead him through the minions, then you have a shot, and there's not just this unstoppable juggernaut.
I think that Garen is somewhat of an unstoppable force in low realo especially. I don't mean to be the guy to say that, but he does just like he just runs at people and just keeps doing it.
He's tough to lane against if you underestimate him.
Yeah, I know that a lot of players just don't like they just see a Garen and they just they don't pay attention to it, and then suddenly this Garen's able to do so much damage. As we saw there, I mean Garen's Q level at level 1 was 150 damage. I mean that's a lot. I mean I can't think of any other champions that can really do that with an auto attack at level 1.
And he died. He predicts the Q, runs out. So
Not really able to get any openings though.
Connor's running double Dorans, which I think gives him great mana sustain over the Chalice because he's able to kill the minions and get that mana back that Doran's Ring provides you. He's able to very effectively kill the backline with a QW. So he's got a pretty good source of mana as well as area denial by investing in the Dorans rather than Chalice or some other form of mana regen. I'm not seeing how MEPH is going to do things. Both people are level 6 now, meaning that Cass has a disengage. MEPH has his judgment, not judgment, Demacian Justice. That's the one.
Yeah, I think that actually. Oh wow, Connor's regenerating mana ridiculously fast. I was going to say Connor doesn't have enough mana for a rotation, but he does already. Because Cassie's ult actually costs 120 mana at rank 1, which is quite a lot.
120 mana and then 65 for the blast, assuming you land that, your Twin Fangs, and then costing 50. She does have the passive to help mitigate mana costs if you can repeatedly spam things, but certainly not enough to... very surprised he didn't go on Connor there. He used the auto to kill a minion when the speed buff was gone. He's freezing the lane here, not quite. Tower's gonna do its thing.
The tower is very slowly dying, and there's not really a pile MEPH can do about it unless he manages to go in soon. Connor is completely out of mana.
The tower is only going to fall faster as Connor builds more and more AP. I suppose I don't remember Connor ever actually physically autoing the tower. It puts him at great risk.
I think he did. I'm not 100% sure actually. MEPH is just regenerating it all back. Connor is and will have to back now. Yeah. As I said,
I'm sure MEPH can see this, but he's not going to go in. It seems he's just going to let Connor do it, and he's going to get some breathing room. Connor will be picking up, I would assume, Sork shoes. There we go. Yep. Yeah. To negate the null magic mantle.
Yeah. Oh, there's a teleport. That really stops MEPH in his tracks.
Yeah, and I forgot he was back in that.
Not sure if MEPH has time to actually back. Probably, but Cassie has really good wave clear.
I think it's a reason to back that he's looking for. He's full health, he's not constrained by mana, and his current gold's 730, so a decent amount.
Connor has lots of mana and has items over him now. I mean, Sork is over him. I mean, his null magic's not going to be doing much while Connor has that much penetration, and so pretty much all he has is a Ruby Crystal against double Darn Sorks, and that's not going to do much for him either.
And he's going in with the spin. He's got the speed buff. Connor doesn't have any... He's silenced him. Oh! Whoa. Okay. Now... And he still hasn't used his Demacian Justice. Now Connor has no disengage. He's still got his flash, but still, MEPH is not out for the count just yet.
Ignite is up. Barrier is up.
He can commit very well if he can just find a way to get rid of Connor's flash. He just needs to keep playing aggressively, burn Connor's resources, because Connor's ult is already a quarter of the way down, and about
a minute and a half cooldown time.
124.8 second cooldown, so he must be running utility somewhere. And I don't know. I guess MEPH's plan is probably just clear the wave. Oh no, he's just gonna run past the wave because the slowing down when he's charging through minions is an issue, and it makes his approach more.
I think it's so up when those one mid lane actually. Because in top lane, obviously, there's a lot of routes to go, but mid lane, you can pretty much only go one route. And the minions spreading out pretty much covers most of the lane, or at least the part of the lane that your enemy is likely to be occupying. Oh, he goes in again.
No, not quite. Again. Yeah, and there's... Okay, now he's just burning through Connor's mana. Connor has... I mean, he might be able to use the Dorans, but he doesn't even have the mana. Oh, there's the level up. That's a nicely timed level up. He's just going to have the Doran's ring get himself... He's just going to keep using it. All right, he's planning on backing out. Just wanted to clear it as fast as possible. And Meth still is not going to back out. He's just taking the opportunity to clear out the minions. I'm assuming he knows that Connor's gone because Connor will be out of the wave.
He's going to teleport up for Connor.
He's just going to take the opportunity, attack the tower. He has no real reason to go back other than, you know, money.
This is a lot of damage.
Oh! Is Meth going to go for it? He could just completely ignore Connor and... Oh, he flashed! That's one way to burn a flash. He's burning the lab. He's, you know, sliding around. Okay. Now Meth's got a strategy. Now Connor is in the hot seat because he hasn't been able to kill Meth. Oh, and Meth's going to go in. And he's got the disengage.
But he still spins what? How does that even make sense?
Magic. Look at that. Okay. So the 81... Okay, now it's starting to become a race. Now it's a very close game. I'm assuming this will not end with a kill. I don't think that Connor... I mean, Connor's disengages are gone. But...
I can't see Connor getting a kill anymore. Connor has a chance of winning this in farm. I think that's what he's going to try and have to do.
He's going to do the farm game, and Meth's got to do the tower game. But Meth needs to clear this out. He's got, you know, 3 more waves, and it's over.
It's going to be a very close game.
That's just going to take the opportunity to regenerate a little bit.
Problem is, Connor's opted for mana regen, which only really works while he's farming, which is not really safe for him to do most of the time. Unless Meth just sits back and... Well, Meth seems content with just letting the wave push to his turret.
Meth's got to make a move.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he knows... I don't know how easy it is to monitor opponent CS without just pressing tab. I don't know how regularly you guys have been doing that in the middle of your games, whether there's ever been a concern, but with a game this long, I mean, it has to be creeping up on him.
I'd imagine he'd probably be noticing it relatively soon. I mean, I didn't notice it during my games, but except the one against Caitlyn towards the very end of it. Because, I mean, you only really tab to check people's items.
94, 95. All right, he's got to do something next wave, and I don't
think he can.
I believe Connor has no mana is the problem. Connor can't easily farm it out. I mean, Meth needs the quick wave clear. This next wave is going to come down to it. Connor has plenty of mana to throw out the Noxious Blast, kill the backline. He's going to do it on this wave unless Meth just charges in there. He's got to play the Bronze Elo strat, 97 CS, 98, 99, 100 CS. Connor takes the win. GG, well played. First 100 CS win.
Oh no!
Oh.